You're watching TV9 Digital. I am Adarsh Vepachedu. Night curfews are slowly but surely becoming the norm right now. I say this because states like Maharashtra, Punjab, Uttarakhand and Gujarat have already implemented it, and states like Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh are joining this list. But you might think, how effective is a night curfew against COVID-19? I had a word with pediatric pulmonologist Dr. Paramesh to try and understand the rationale and purpose behind a night curfew. I asked him if a night curfew is enough to curb the spread of coronavirus, as most people would have finished their work and gone home with streets mostly empty, given that night curfew in most places starts at 9 or 10 p.m. I must also mention here that Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan had written to the Maharashtra State Chief Secretary saying that measures like night curfew and weekend lockdowns will have minimal effect. Here is what Dr. Paramesh had to say.
Seems to be a little illogical to me, because the second wave coming from the change in the genetic pattern of the virus. There are 1,000 changes. Actually, we have the strain from the British strain and also from the South African strain. We have the Brazilian strain. Now the American strain is coming. That's one of them, a little more contagious and also a little more very. This is virus also want to survive. That's why second peak has come there, because we eased up our way of managing ourselves and covering ourselves on the face and the hand washing and distancing ourselves, respiratory etiquette, and election has come in that one. As a crowd hardly wear masks, and in addition to the festivals, whole lot of things has started doing that. That is the cause for it. I think lockdown is not a right thing to think about anyway. I don't think we should implement the lockdown as a matter of other one. But in the night, people who work during daytime, they go home and by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, they hardly reach. And night, doing curfew at that time, I don't think it really makes any difference. There is no logic in it, and also there is no study to say this is what it, just for the heck of it doing it, may not be yielding any good results for us and causing a lot of inconvenience to the people.
Now, what's important to note is that night curfews have a direct impact on the economic activity that is already in a bad shape. I asked Dr. Paramesh if a night curfew is a worthy trade-off in this aspect.
I think it is not a right thing. We are already suffering economic, that is, I'm not an expert in the economic field. It definitely, indirectly affects a great deal. Most of the goods will move in the night time, as a matter of fact. That will be affected. I think we should think twice before doing that. It may not be the right thing professionally. There is no proof for it, as a matter of fact, it decreasing the coronavirus spreading.
Now, states are saying that night curfew is a measure to avoid crowding. If this is the ultimate goal, how about preponing the curfew by a few crucial hours, like an evening curfew, say from 6 p.m., during which crowding usually takes place?
Phase out the timing. People are coming to the office. The time you come at 10 o'clock, you go early. So some timetable can be done different timings. I think that seems to be logical to me. Instead of starting only 10:30, everybody come, at 5:30, everybody go. Some people office can be started at 8 o'clock. So you come at 8 o'clock, you got 4 o'clock. You come at 9 o'clock, you go at 5 o'clock. You come at 6, like that. You phase out the timings. That seems to be logical.
So if not a night curfew, what are the steps that district administrations should ideally be taking right now to curb the spread of COVID-19? Here's what the doctor had to say.
We have to insist on the wearing the mask while traveling and all those things, and distancing ourselves, avoiding these parties and the flats and all, especially crowding places. Meeting places have these flats and all these things. They are those places where crowd is there, that minimize that one, getting together and all those things. These are all things to be followed up rather than the curbing the traffic. They have to encourage these type of things.
There you have it. A night curfew at best is a stopgap measure, something that may pause the spread in a very temporary manner, making it an ill-formed strategy, especially given the economic impact it will end up leaving. There seems to be no medical benefit behind the move either. And as the doctor mentioned, the second wave is more lethal, given that a new double mutant COVID-19 variant found in the UK and California in the US is currently transmitting. What's needed is a smart testing and tracing strategy, and more importantly, a robust genome surveillance system that will help us get ahead of future waves of COVID-19. On our part, we must ensure we do not overcrowd and do not get out of the house unnecessarily while following masking, hand hygiene and social distancing. If you like the content that I've shared with you, make sure you like and share this video, and yes, subscribe to TV9 News on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Until next time.